Welcome to your yoga practice. It is Friday, February 21st. I'll pull up the quote for us to contemplate today if you want to sit tall and take some breaths. This comes from Nelson Mandela. For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedoms of others. For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. Let's go ahead and bring ourselves into Baddha Konasana right away. So soles of the feet together. If you've got a folded blanket you can sit on, then do that. And then you might just shift side to side a couple of times, rocking, lifting up through your heart, breathing. And if you're rocking side to side, let it get smaller and smaller until you're right in the center. And then let your legs get nice and heavy, like they're going to drop down towards the ground. And we just work with our bodies, however they're built. So no worries, if your knees are pointed up, it's okay. And if they're nearly on the ground, that's okay too. With your hands on your ankles or shins, really pull your heart up and then forwards. And we can keep extending the spine, so kind of squeezing the shoulder blades together so we're finding some lift up through the heart space. Leaning forward. And maybe here you close your eyes or just let your gaze settle on something neutral that you can see in front of you. And try to notice what sensations you're feeling in your body. Like very specifically, where are you feeling something? And then what does that feel like? And keep breathing. Just adding another layer of observation, mindfulness. As you breathe, do those sensations you're feeling change a little? Do they transform? One more breath. Lifting the heart, leaning forward. And then slowly as you exhale, let your head drop, let the spine round. And of course, doing everything to comfort or to tolerance. So if something doesn't feel right, please just adjust yourself and let it work for you. But we'll stay here for a couple of breaths, the idea being to kind of breathe into the back body. So now we're letting the spine round, letting the head hang heavy. A couple more breaths. You are welcome to move or sway around if that brings in nice sensations. And then we'll sit up tall. Stretch your left leg out long, keeping the right leg folded in. Go ahead and flex through your left ankle, pushing through that heel. Sweep your right arm up and over. We're folding towards your extended leg. If the shoulder is tired, we could rest the arm on the head or even just drop it down. You'll lose some of the stretch in the side body if you drop the arm, but take care of yourself. Another couple breaths here. And then we'll sit up tall and switch legs. Folding your left leg in, stretching your right leg out. Push through your right heel, sweep the left arm up and over. A few breaths here. Does this side feel the same or a little bit different? Staying for a couple more breaths, I will grab and share our quote again from Nelson Mandela. For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. All right, come back up to center, then we'll stretch both legs out. Bring your hands to the ground in front of you and just take a little lean forward. And then we're going to play with rotating the legs. So let's bring the legs so that the toes point more forward, same direction as your heart. And then rotate your legs so that the toes and knees point more up to the sky. And see if you can do a little more so they even point a little bit back behind you. And then relax your legs, let them roll forwards. Now the toes point just a little bit more forwards. And then up towards the sky. And then pointing a little bit back behind you. And we'll do that one more time. You can look at the screen if my words aren't quite connecting. So letting the toes and knees point a little bit more forwards and down. And then engaging the legs so that the toes and knees point up towards the sky. And then engaging a little bit more, trying to point the toes and knees back behind you. And then we'll hold there as long as there's no pain. Sit up as tall as you can and lean forward. Good, just one more breath. All right, sitting up, you can use your hands to pull the legs in. Let's come into tabletop and we'll get moving into some flows. Awesome, welcome. In tabletop, inhale to drop your belly down. Exhale to arch your spine up. So I have my hands on blocks, but you don't have to. Sometimes it's just nice, especially with really familiar things like cow and cat, to shift your perspective a little. Couple more cycles of breath. Inhaling stretches the belly. Exhaling stretches the back body. All right, planting your hands, tucking your toes. Go ahead and make your way up and back to downward facing dog. As you take a few breaths here, see if right away you can keep the wrists light. Let the head get heavy and breath nice and full. And then we'll walk our feet up to meet our hands, forward fold. On your inhale, lift up halfway, sweep the arms back in space, squeeze the shoulder blades together, look ahead, keep breathing, engage the core here. Another big inhale, and exhale, release, fold down. Inhale, rise all the way up, reaching out and up, stretching. Keep breathing. Hold on to your left wrist, pull it up and over to the right side. You can look down to give your neck a little break. Or if the neck is okay with it, you can look up and kind of lean your head back. And the next inhale, come up through center, switch arms, left hand pulling the right arm up and over to the left side. Looking down for the neck, or rotating the head up towards the sky and maybe kind of dropping it back a little. And then next inhale, come to center, release your hands up to the sky. Exhale, fold all the way down. Plant your hands on the blocks or ground. Step your right foot back in space. And then we'll drop the right knee. Breathe as you straighten the left leg and then bend the left leg. So we can inhale as we straighten the left leg, hips moving back in space. Exhale as we bend it, hips pressing forwards and down. Do this dynamic movement a few times. All right, next time you bend your left knee, bring your hands to the ground, step your left foot back in space, big breath in. Exhale, lower all the way down. Point your toes back. Inhale, find your cobra. Maybe you keep it really low to the ground this first round. And on your next exhale, lower down, tuck your toes, push yourself up and back, downward facing dog. Just a breath or so. All right, then hike your right hip up towards the sky so the right foot can lift and hover off of the ground. Step it forward. Step into the right foot, hike your left hip up towards the sky, step the foot forward. You might be able to get another one or two of those in. And we'll eventually come to forward fold at the top of the mat. And on an inhale, lift up halfway, squeeze the shoulder blades together, sweeping the arms back if you like that, looking ahead if you like that. Exhale, release down. Inhale all the way up. Take your time. Exhale, we'll fold all the way back down. Hands on the blocks or ground. Step your left foot straight back in space. Drop the left knee. Inhale as you straighten your right leg, shifting the hips back. Exhale as you bend your right knee, pressing the hips forward and down. Go at your own pace, several more breaths. Good, keep breathing. Welcome, welcome. Couple more breaths here. And the next time you bend your right knee, go ahead and bring your hands to the ground. Find your plank pose. Full breath in. Breathing out, lower on down to the belly. Point the toes back. Next inhale, find your cobra, keeping it low or maybe pushing the hands into the ground, pulling the chest forwards and upwards. And then on an exhale, lower down and tuck the toes. Push yourself up and back, downward facing dog. Just a breath or two. All right, same story. We'll take those slow walks to the top of the mat. So imagine lifting your left hip, hiking it up to the sky so much that the left foot hovers off of the ground. And then move it forward, plant the left foot, hike the right hip up, move the right leg forward. Maybe you can get another time on each side in, and then we fold forward. Inhaling, lift up halfway. Exhaling, fold down. And inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Take a couple breaths. Notice how the body's feeling. I know my temperature has changed rapidly. How's the breath moving through the body? Can we give ourselves a really intentional, completely full breath in and out? Right. We'll have a chance to play with optional balancing. So we can put the blocks towards the top of the mat on a high setting, just so they're there in case we want to go there. Okay, on an inhale, reach your arms out and up. On your exhale, fold all the way down. Hands touch the ground, step your left foot back, heel to arch alignment, and then cartwheel your arms up, warrior two. Take your time settling in, and if pulsing or adding a little more movement is helpful today, you can do that, bending into your right leg a little more, and then backing out of it, even going, into a nice low warrior two, and then all the way up like we're in triangle. So bending the right knee and extending it. If you want to add the arms, as you inhale, straighten the right leg, stretch your right arm up. And as you exhale, warrior two. So inhale, reverse triangle. Exhale, warrior two. A couple more times. And the next time you straighten your right leg, take a reverse triangle, big inhale. And then exhale, bring your arms parallel to the ground. Inhale, hinge way to the right. Exhale, find Trikonasana, triangle pose. Right hand to your shin, left hand to the sky. Good, then we'll bend the right knee, coming into extended side angle. Here's where if you want to play with Ardha Chandrasana half moon, you can bring your hand to the block at the top right corner of your mat, or maybe to the ground. Imagine your left fingertips reaching up to the sky as we take a big step into the right leg. And maybe it's better to do lots of little bitty hops and get that left foot closer to the right foot. Ultimately, we're trying to lift the left leg parallel to the ground and pushing into the heel, just like we did those kind of engagements in the wide leg forward fold at the beginning. Good. And notice some days balance might work for us. Some days, try as we might, it just might not. Can you breathe through whatever's happening? One more breath. And then we'll all meet in Warrior Two, where we can look for a sense of stability and strength. Okay, flip your palms towards the sky. Pull the arms back in space. Big inhale. And exhale, cartwheel your hands to the ground. Find your plank pose for an inhale. Exhale, lower on down to your belly. Let's stack the forearms and rest the forehead on the forearms for a moment. Breathing here. Giving yourself a couple breaths of recovery. If you want a little more movement in your body, you can bend one knee and then the other. So we're slowly kicking the legs. And you can stay in this kind of recovery position or stretch your arms down alongside you, palms facing down. And on your next inhale, lift your heart, lift your legs. Shalabhasana locust pose. And we'll breathe here for 3, 2, and 1. Lowering down. Hands alongside your chest, toes tucked. Big breath in. Exhale and push yourself up and back, downward facing dog. Right away, let's go ahead and just walk our feet up to the top of the mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. On your inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Take a couple breaths, kind of recalibrate here. Making sure the blocks are waiting for you if you're going to use them. And then on an inhale, we'll stretch up to the sky. Yeah, take your time. Exhale, fold down. Step the right foot back, heel to arch alignment. Cartwheel your arms up. Here we are, Virabhadrasana 2, looking over the left fingertips. And then we can start to pulse. It's always optional, but you might bend into that left knee just a little bit more and then extend the left leg. We don't have to stress too much if the knee is, moving forwards of the toes, even though we hear that cue a lot. I think it's well-intentioned, but every time we go up the stairs, our knee goes over the toes. So we're actually building some resilience in the joint by putting a little bit of strain on it. Okay, the next time you straighten your left leg, let's go ahead and reach the left arm up to the sky. So moving the arms into this flow. Exhale, Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, Viparita Trikonasana, reverse triangle. Go at your own pace a few more times. All right, the next time you straighten your left leg, reverse triangle, take a big breath in. Keep the legs the same as you exhale, bring your arms parallel to the ground. Inhale, hinge to the left, reach to the left. Exhale, left hand to left shin, right hand to the sky. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Breathing, you could choose to stay here or put a bend in your left knee, coming into extended side ankle. Reaching the left hand to the ground or block at the top left corner of the mat. Really imagine plugging your right fingertips into the sky so that can help you find a little lift as we try to step into the left leg. You can take several tiny little steps or bounces if that helps. And again, we really push through the right foot. So both of the legs are equally engaged. Imagine the right foot is firmly rooting into a wall, just as much as the left foot is rooting into the ground. Keep breathing. Give yourself one more breath. Let it be slow. So no matter what the body or mind are doing, the breath can move fully. And then we'll make our way back to Warrior Two. Take an inhale there. And exhale, cartwheel your hands to the ground. Step yourself back to plank pose, breathing in. And breathing out, lower on down to your belly. Give yourself a moment in that recovery pose. So stacking your forearms, resting your head there. If you want a little more movement, you can slowly kick your feet or bend one knee and then the other. Wonderful. Okay, let's bring our hands alongside our chest, push ourselves up to tabletop. And here's where, if you have blocks, we'll go ahead and put them on their lowest setting. So they would land like under your belly and chest. And then we'll lower back down to them. If you don't have blocks, no worries, just lower on down to your belly. You could also grab a blanket or a pillow. And then we'll hike the left leg out to the left side, taking a half frog. Now, if you get here and the blocks feel way too hard or just not good, then you can let them go too. I think I'm gonna let them go today. So we can always try things, and then if it doesn't work for us, just let them go. The joys of a personal practice. Good, another slow breath in your half frog. Actually, let's stay a couple more breaths. Check in if you are tensing like your inner groin muscles or the glutes, maybe the thigh on the right leg. Just try to scan through the body and let go of any tension that you don't really need. Takes practice just to become aware of our holding patterns, let alone to rewire them. So patience. Let's go ahead and slowly stretch that left leg back behind us and switch sides. So if you're on the blocks, you might need to press up to tabletop to switch it out. We'll end up with the right leg hiked out to the right side. Knee bent. You can even flex the ankle so that we have all these angles of the ankle, the knee, the hip. Keep breathing. Really try to become aware if you're holding tension anywhere that doesn't have to be there. What can we let go of just a little more in this next breath? All right, hands alongside your chest. Push yourself up. We'll all find tabletop, moving the blocks out of the way if you use them. Let's tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Just gonna pass through here. Go ahead and at your own pace, walk your feet up to meet your hands. From forward fold, inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, rise all the way up. Give yourself a full body stretch. And exhale your hands to your heart. Standing tall here, pushing the hands into each other. Find something to gaze at, a drishti or a focal point, and start shifting your weight into your left leg. This is a fine place to stay. You could also bend the right knee, bringing the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left leg. And again, really anywhere on the leg. This is another one. There's a lot of warnings about not putting your foot on your knee, but I don't think we're going to hurt our knee joints. And there's actually a little notch there that feels really nice to put the foot in. So according to my teachers, it's no worries. Just find a way that you feel steady enough. Imagine the standing leg and the lifted foot pressing into each other, meeting in the middle. Lift your heart. And on your next exhale, slowly return to mountain pose, both feet on the ground. Shift the weight on into your right leg. Engaging the right gluteal muscles so that hip does not jut out. And then we can see about bringing the sole of the left foot to the inside of the right leg. maybe finding its home around that little notch of the knee joint. I'm sure this will get all of us corrected in a class, and we'll just be nice. Keep breathing, hugging everything into the center. That was a significant portion of that functional yoga training that I did, was them saying, like, now don't go out there and be rude. People are trying to help when they give all these alignment cues. One more breath. And slowly release. Both feet on the ground. Go ahead and drop your arms and just notice for a breath any sensations. And then let's shake out the arms. Soften your knees and give yourself a little bounce. Our very cool dance moves. And you can maybe stretch the arms up overhead. Big breath in. And out. One more inhale. As you exhale, fold forward, all the way forwards and down. Let the head be heavy for a breath. And then go ahead and drop your seat to the ground. Roll onto your spine. When you get there, you can draw the knees in towards your chest and rock side to side. We'll just very briefly pass through a twist. So let your legs fall over to the left side. You could stretch that right arm out and look over your right shoulder. After you take a slow, full breath, bring yourself back to center and to the other side. So legs fall to the right. Left arm outstretched, look over that left shoulder. Bring yourself back to center. And when you feel ready, go ahead and put your feet on the ground, stretch your legs long, and let yourself rest just as you are. However you landed, you can adjust yourself to be comfortable, but see if you can just let it be good enough at some point and notice what's here. A sensation, a thought, a breath. So this month, exploring Satya, or truthfulness in yoga philosophy, and of course being Black History Month, so including more Black and brown voices. Our quote from Nelson Mandela: "For to be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others." Live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others. As you feel ready, you can bring a stretch or movement back into your body. And eventually, if you'd like to close as a group, we'll meet in an easy seat. If you need a little bit more time and you have it, enjoy it. As you come up to an easy seat, let's take just a couple cycles of box breath together. So we can rest our hands in Jnana Mudra, index finger and thumb tips together. And exhale. And inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Out 4. Pause 4. One more cycle. In 4. Hold full. Breathe out. Pause empty. If you'd like to close by sharing a round of Om, we'll draw the hands together at the heart. Big inhale for that vibration. Om. A deep bow of gratitude to you for sharing your practice. May our individual practices uplift the world. I hope you have a good weekend, and I'll see you on Monday.